What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZBCN today, Zebec. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 13th of June, and here we are at about 7 hours, 30 minutes left in the day. $0.0438 right now. Actually, it just went down a little bit. 7 hours, 30 minutes left in the day. You're up 7.5% today, and that's nice, especially given the context of a bunch of red. There's a lot of red today. I can only imagine, and I'm not trying to poke fun, but I'm imagining that there are people who probably don't know what they're talking about who are saying, the rest of the markets are down. Israel attacked Iran, and ZBCN is still up 7.5%. This is strength, guys. This is why we're going to rip through the moon tomorrow. We're just going right up to the... I can imagine people who probably don't know what they're talking about saying that kind of stuff, when really it's not that complicated. It's just standard volatility. Look, you've been volatile throughout this whole range. Day by day, you're still moving down. You've got lower prices to go. You're almost there. You're almost there, right? But I think at this point it is inevitable that you're going to see 0.034 or lower. Maybe what was it? 0.00342? Is that what? Let me make sure. What was it? It was from here. That's right. It was from this high to low. High to low here. 0.034 on the crypto chart. What about on the Bybit chart? Bybit. I don't know which one's more reliable. 0.0. Wait, hold on now. Oh, I was like, I thought it was higher than that. Have I been wrong? 0.0342. Yeah, something between 0.034 to 0.034, even just below that, I think is fine, right? Something at least here at the 0.4. If you were to find support on the golden ratio, I think you would have done it already, right? You wouldn't have done this so much, and now you're finding resistance where you found support before, right? That's really what you're doing. As bullish as today might feel because the rest of the market's down or whatever, really you're just finding resistance at prior support. So that's actually not a bullish thing. That implies lower prices to go. The next area in the fibs to consider would be 0.0342 or 0.0339, whatever that was. Something around 0.034. That's what I'm expecting. Maybe just above there, maybe just below there. If you're looking to buy ZBCN, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I went over this briefly in like one of my last videos. I think it was the last video. If I was looking to buy it, and I wouldn't be looking to buy at 0.0342 or below 0.034. Even if the price goes there, I'm not looking to buy there. I would look to buy just below this line here. I'm going to buy in this little zone right here, right? Because if it hits 0.00342 and it bounces, I'll be glad I did. If it goes lower, oh well, boo-hoo, who cares, right? If it goes even lower than that, I can buy more if I want to, but boo-hoo, who cares? It's still going to go up, right? And probably, again, I want to address this real quick before we get too much further into the video. When we find support, you're probably not going to do this, right? You're probably not going to move up immediately. You're probably going to configure yourself, right? Have some higher lows, whatever. Have some higher highs, higher lows, and then whenever you start to break through this 236 or 1886200 level, these two purple lines here, the current all-time highs, when you break through that, that's when the rocket ship will start, right? And that's probably going to happen either at the end of June, or the way I have it drawn there, it'd be like the second week of July, but I don't think it'll take that long. I think that, it's very possible that by the end of June you are at new all-time highs. If not, I do think, if I'm just being honest with my own perspective, I think you won't be at new all-time highs until July. Right, you'll be moving up. That doesn't mean you're going to be moving down, but you'll be consolidating until then, right? You'll really start to see your next phase moving higher sometime in July. That's my expectation, at least at the moment. That can change. It can definitely change. It is possible that this is the low. I just think that it's not likely. Anything's possible, but likelihoods are what we play off of, not just possibilities, right? We talk about the possibilities, but we consider the likelihoods. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, super bullish on today, right? But you're rejecting the overbought zone on your 1 hour time frame. That's not good, man. It's not a good thing. Oh, hey, you do have lower lows with higher lows in the R side, or higher lows in the price, lower lows in the R side. That is a good thing, I guess. But you're moving up without volume. You rejected here with volume, right? The biggest volume that you saw throughout this whole thing, at least on Bybit, which is the exchange that has the most volume for ZBCN, because none of these other exchanges compare as far as volume goes, as far as liquidity goes, right? Literally nothing else compares. So with this, I think volume is more considerate. This was at least average volume right here on this rejection. The fact that you're rejecting there too, let's just see, what was that on the price? Kind of at prior areas of support, but a little bit through it, but whatever. It's a low market cap coin. It can break the rules a little bit. You don't, just because you're not finding resistance here doesn't mean that you're going higher. But as you're pushing higher, you can see there's a lack of volume, a serious lack of volume. The biggest candle with volume that you've had since the low was a rejection candle. You're moving up now trying to test that, and I don't think you're going to test it too much, man. I think that you're going to keep going down. 15-minute time frame, a little bit of bearish divergence there, right? A little bearish div. High here, lower high, double top, lower high, slightly lower high right there. Bearish divergence, you likely will be going down. Yeah, I very much do expect that. On the 15-minute time frame, it almost looks like you were building with volume here, but still rejecting, still coming down, right? You're moving up here, trying to retest that without volume. I do believe that you're going to go lower. 4-hour time frame, looking at this here. 4-hour RSI, the 4-hour RSI, say that 5 times fast, does look pretty damn bearish, actually, right? We know it's bearish because, I mean, just a few things, right? Very simply put, if you draw a circle right here, are you spending most of your time below the 50 or most of your time above the 50? If the answer is below, bearish, right? Are you getting higher highs in the RSI but lower highs in the price? Yes, bearish, right? You're trying higher. You're trying harder. You're getting stronger results, but you're getting stronger readings, but producing weaker results. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all, man. You're getting higher lows, sure, but the higher highs thing with lower highs is not encouraging at all. If we're looking at this from a relative high to a relative low, you went up to your 382 and directly rejected that. Found support at your 069. Now you're at the 236. You're probably just working your way down, man. That's all it is, right? I really do believe that what happened here is you broke out of this consolidation phase, right? You broke out right here. Now you're just back testing it for resistance, and then you're going to continue to go down to that 0034 area or even lower. It is possible, and we did talk about 00342 to 00339. It is possible that you find support there, but it's also possible that you go a little bit lower. The lowest price that I could see ZBCN going to would be $0022. And if not there, you'll probably find support at 0029. But I would think most likely it's somewhere around that 0034 area, something like that. It is possible. If I had to consider any lower prices, I don't think we go to 0022. I think that 0029 would hold, or something in between that and 0034. So in accordance to this low here, you're actually very, very near the low, but you just have a little bit more to go. And again, once you find the low, that doesn't mean that you rip through the roof, right? Let's just see. Like when you found your low, I guess actually when you found your low there, you did rip through the roof, but that's not fair. That's not a fair comparison, man. Here you found the low and you moved sideways for another week, right? You were still kind of moving like slowly but surely upwards, and then like 2 weeks after that low, that's when things took off, right? That's kind of what I'm expecting. Once you find your low, which will probably be this next week, I'm assuming what's going to happen is, and it's unfortunate because I know it's going to cause the wrong reaction for a lot of people who are still holding ZBCN. What's going to happen over this next week, I think, is that the rest of the markets are going to have a field day. The rest of the markets are going to do what ZBCN did. When the rest of the markets are being boring here, ZBCN pumped up. Now ZBCN is going to be boring or moving down. The rest of the markets are going to be moving up. People are going to sell ZBCN at the lows for the coins that just pumped, and then ZBCN is going to recover, and it's probably going to outperform the rest of the markets after next week, not during next week. That kind of stuff, it just causes irrational behavior. If I had one bit of opinion to give you guys, it would be that it's not the time to sell. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Even if you do believe, like I do, that the price is going to go lower, this was the time to sell. It's not the time to sell now because you never know whenever you could be wrong, right? The whole market does look bullishly set up for next week. What if ZBCN gets a piece of that? What if I'm wrong? What if it doesn't go lower, right? This is not promised. Higher prices, this is not what I can't promise is that we're going to go lower. I'm very convinced that we'll go lower. The statistics are there, the probability's there. I very much believe that we will go lower, but I can't promise that. But what I can promise is that we're going to go higher. That's not the all-time high. You're crazy if you think that's the all-time high. It's definitely going to go higher. So why sell this for something that might happen instead of just holding it for something that will inevitably happen, right? If you wanted to sell, this was the area to sell. Definitely not advocating for the sell here. I think that if anything, it's just a good time to wait to buy more, right? If you want to trade it, you want to do whatever you want, go for it, right? I'm not your babysitter, not your financial advisor. Do whatever you want, but that's just my 2 cents. You're definitely cooled off in the daily RSI. You definitely have, but I think we have a little bit lower to go. We'll probably find support around the 40 or the 35 area, maybe even into the oversold zone. We'll probably go just a little bit lower, and with that, that's the expectation. We'll recover from there, start to build and get into that overbought zone again, and I got nothing else for you guys. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. 0029, 00342, something in that area, that's where we're going to go. And then after that, it's onward and upward to new highs worth multiple pennies, if not even several pennies. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Bye bye.